My brother, the baby boy, the only boy. I remember when he first came home from the hospital. My dad had a celebratory barbecue. He was so excited to have a son. I have vague memories of my relationship with my brother growing up. Maybe it was the age difference or the nature of our family dynamics. I can't imagine the burdens my brother dealt with being the only boy in that household, but I know we didn't make it easy for him. We were angry. I was angry. Angry that I had to watch him as a baby instead of going outside to play with my friends. Angry because he got the jewelry and seemingly the better clothes and life experiences. Angry because at that time, it didn't seem like my dad loved him with conditions. Angry because he was the only boy and his very existence was more valuable than mine. The anger of that responsibility and realization probably made me resentful, but I don't know what quite drove the wedge between my relationship with my brother and myself at that age. Growing up, we each became islands, isolated by our own struggles. We rarely leaned on each other for support because we were too busy trying to stay afloat. My own sense of isolation kept me from being present in the relationship that should have mattered most. One story still haunts me. The third oldest, my sister, she was always my dad's favorite. As the youngest girl, she got away with everything in my eyes. It's funny how kids process trauma and compare it, right? We all had it bad. But even in those tough times, there was always a sense of who had it slightly better. There was a day when my sister needed me. She needed me to be her older sister. She needed me to defend her, to come to her rescue, and to love her. She needed me to be her hero. I didn't know that was in my job description. Not as a teenager. Not as a teenager who did not know how to show up in that way. My sister called me and she told me that there was a boy that was harassing her as she was trying to go to school. So I went because my instinct was to protect my sister, but I was taught to love with conditions. I was taught that if you were good, then some superficial version of love would be shown. Yep, I showed up physically, but abandoned her emotionally. This boy was harassing my sister, insulting her around his friends, and it didn't stop when I got there. As I went to approach him, he said, "Why isn't your sister in school?" It's as if he knew I had a weak spot. I turned to my sister and asked her, "Why aren't you in school?" And she looked shocked, like I was missing the point. I was missing the point. It didn't matter if she was supposed to be in school. What mattered was that she felt helpless and needed me. I didn't see that in the moment. The only thing I felt was annoyed that she put herself in that position. My frustration overrode my desire to protect her. I took his side over my sister's. I left her there, in danger, abandoned on the street. My justification? This is what you get. I guess you're not that good. Maybe the school will call dad and he will handle you. I knew then that I had failed her, but I pushed that guilt down, buried it deep with all the other feelings I didn't want to face.